So let's do challenge 2A. Challenge 2A is saying we have to kill the enemy wizard with an elf, and also to use the law chaos balance to our advantage, and be aware that the enemy wizard has magic bolts, which is something we should always assume. So we have this law shift spell again. We can see we have lots and lots of law cards in our hand right now, and as well as this, if we look at our spell deck, we have 2 law cards remaining, and they have a combined law point value of 22. And so I know from experience that they will be a law shift card with a law point value of 20 and a dwarf with a law point value of 2. So we'll move forwards and we'll cast our law shift. One thing to bear in mind when we're using these law shifts is if your opponent has a lot of law spells, you are also making the game easier for them. So because I'm pretty sure in these tutorials the opponent only has stuff like goblins and rats and bolt, I'm going to cast another. Versus a human opponent or an unshackled AI, you might want to be a bit more cautious, because if they have a dragon spell and you don't, by shifting the law over by 40 points, it will make the enemy's dragon quite easy to get out. Whereas we clearly don't have a dragon here, so we've got we're going to struggle to deal with that, should it happen. Okay, so the enemy wizard doesn't really know where to go, and the enemy rats are going to try and either spill around here or take the high ground. So what I'm going to do is put up a dwarf, because they have high defensive value, and use that to combat these rats. And then I can safely put some elves up here, and they won't get nibbled to death. Right, the lion is interesting, because although the lion can't attack up these cliff sides, it has this leap ability here, which means it can actually jump up them, and it's the only creature that can do this. Flying creatures, which we'll see later, can fly up these cliffs. Again, they can't attack directly, but if they can get up here, they can attack your creatures. The lion is the same, so the lion can get up here and start making trouble for our dwarves. What else can we move? Nothing. We're not going to get hit this turn, so I'm just going to end turn again. So these rats are going to continue fighting their losing battle versus the dwarves. And the lion has indeed jumped up here, and it can actually jump down the other side, so it can move over here, land here, and start making trouble for my wizard, which we definitely don't want. So let's try and prevent that by moving this dwarf over to block. So now the lion can only land here, which is a little further right, but I think what it's probably going to do is try and attack my wizard instead. So I'm going to put a dwarf down here to block the attack from this rat. And we're just going to keep on fighting. Yeah, so the lion's gone for the dwarf, so that dwarf, that took off 50 hit points, so the dwarf's dead next turn. But that's not going to be a problem for us, because we can take almost half of the lion's health, and although I don't think we can do it this turn, I will be able to finish it off next turn with bolt. So we'll finish off that rat. Dwarf may as well go around here. We'll pop another dwarf down there. And end our turn. I'm not sure we have line of sight to this lion, even if we back off a bit. Because it's so high up, I think the cliff side's going to get in the way. So I don't think the wizard is going to be able to bolt it next turn. Yeah, we can, okay. So we need to back off a bit, bolt the lion up the cliff, take a lump out of the rat, move around to have a go at the goblin, and yeah, this dwarf I would say will survive until the next turn, which is what we want. I'm wondering now, perhaps I should have led with elves on this high ground. A little worried about getting swamped. Let's use my last bolt and finish off this goblin. And move forward, and in my next turn we're going to start casting some elves. That was a mistake, so the lion has jumped up and killed the dwarf, and now I'm in a little bit of trouble. Well, the dwarf is at least going to survive the next turn. But I'm going to have to run away with my wizard and fall back with these elves. Okay, so one way or another that dwarf's dead the next turn, so let's not worry about the lion. Leaping down the cliff will end its turn, so we will take some shots at this goblin. Again, staying out of attack range, because we don't want the goblin to kill any of my elves. Pop another one down here. We may as well stay here, and we'll do some damage to this goblin because we can. Move away. And end the turn. I'm wondering now if I should have come around the sides instead and ignored trying to use this as a defensive structure. Okay, so let's finish this goblin off. Make another elf. Attack this goblin. And apart from that, we're just going to sit and wait. These guys are going to loom menacingly along this cliff face, but are otherwise harmless. The lion, on the other hand, could be a problem. How much health does this thing have? Okay, so I'll take out the rat this turn. Wizard needs to back off. The rat's dead. My elves are going to fall back so they can't be attacked in this next turn. And our next turn we're going to have to deal with this lion. And ideally this rat. Okay, so let's see what we can see. So I can kill it with my wizard. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, one way or another this... oops. I'm going to have to use an elf to block an attack from this rat. Which is a shame, but the elf can take it. Yeah, as I said, the elves are quite weak in defense versus close combat attacks, so that didn't do the elf much good at all. So I'll attack first with the elf to weaken the rat, finish it off with the wizard because that gives us slightly more mana points, and then finish this rat off with the other elf, and then we can start advancing because these goblins aren't going to do anything other than growl. And now we should be able to ruin the enemy wizard's day with all these elves. Okay, so we'll start shooting at them immediately. Oops. we'll move the other elves up just because we can. And there's absolutely no point in moving our wizard up, because it just puts us in bolt range of the enemy wizard and doesn't really gain us anything. There goes that the bolt I was just talking about. But we've got enough elves that it doesn't matter. I suppose there's no reason really to... one of these elves will get bolted next turn anyway if the enemy still has bolts, but it won't save them, so we don't really care. And we are victorious.